Hello everyone, Joe Weaver here. This is my analysis and information regarding the New Earth 2013-2014 review. This is some of the information that I was going to share in the global sort of conference call that I scheduled on the 22nd, but we really didn't have that much feedback or participation in that event, so I wanted to share the information through this YouTube video that it may assist you all or us through these changing times. For more information regarding me, you can visit my website, thedivinebalance.com. So getting started in the information regarding the review of 2013, let's look back in December 21st, 2012. It was a very awkward time for a lot of us in many different ways. There was so much hype and fear and propaganda and all kinds of wild stuff leading up to that period of time that most of us, and nearly all of us, in physical form anyway, had no real idea about what was going on then, other than it was a point in time, basically. And as we're going forward, now that it's basically been over 1 year since then, we are now just integrating what happened back then in December of 2012. In essence, it was like a portal in time and space, and we have many of these portals in time, just like all time, the celestial calendar and all kinds of different things. But this was a specific, very, very special portal, we could call it, that we as a collective of humanity on Earth basically walked through together as one. In order to make it through that portal, basically we had to be balanced or sustaining a certain level of energetic vibration, which is called our collective light quotient, in order for us to make it, say, through a portal like that in harmony and balance. If we were not able to sustain a certain level of, say, vibration or light quotient during that period of time, we would have had a different result during that period of shift, or say that portal. As I've shared in some of my past videos, and I had one about a couple months ago I shared regarding the opportunity of portals. And we have many portals available to us that we've already gone through even in 2013. Portals in themselves are choices, they're opportunities. So it's not that when we're going through a portal that the outcome is set, because we have a choice how we basically are going to go through it. And so on, say, here in this physical level of our experience, even though it's been a year, we might be thinking, wow, what's going on? How come everything's not shifting here physically? But on a grander scale, it's only been like a second of time, this 1 year since December 21st, 2012 to now, basically almost the 1st of 2014, is nearly a couple seconds in time on a grander scale. And we are now just integrating as I describe sometimes, acclimating to the energies of now the new Earth that we've now stepped into, but we're now just acclimating to this new space. So a lot of the changes in the shift of going through that portal is now we're just getting used to, and as we're going into 2014, getting acclimated is the only word that I know how to use that really describes what we're currently going through. We're getting used to operating in a new, expansive way, learning how to think, live, view life, and feel and experience this world in new ways that we not necessarily we were experiencing before. And so we had the opportunity to experience it before, but the majority of us were not experiencing the true change that is currently in full motion now. And so as the years go forward, we will gain more and more awareness of that, say, that one marker in time of that portal of December 21st, 2012, and really what that whole time period around surrounding it, what it really means on a grander scale in the other multidimensional levels and so on, and the effects that what we did as a collective, we basically did make it through that portal, and what that effects that had on the rest of, say, the universe. So that was a little bit, it basically opened the door for us to, say, for a new expansive ways to experience reality, and also new expanded energies, galactic energies, universal energies, that we were not, say, capable of, say, experiencing before that period in time. So that was a little bit about the portal of December 2012. The next thing was the perception of time and our manifesting power. Towards the end of 2012, some of the information I received was that going into 2013 was going to be the year of us stepping more into our, say, God creator abilities, or say our God creator selves. And when we talk about stuff like that, or for me personally, we say that, but to really comprehend that and live it is another thing. And if we look at time, our perception of time in itself, and say our manifesting abilities, if we were going to manifest something, we were going to experience something, what would that really mean? And when we say we have greater manifesting abilities, what does that have to do in relation to time? So, to say if our perception is that time is speeding up, and like most people, they feel like they have no time, but really it's the perception of time that is just changing. It's in a lot of different ways. In the 3D reality, we were experiencing a time delay. Is what we thought and or the actions or our emotions basically put out. We would have a delay before we would actually experience those things back through our physical, say, experience. That delay is what is dissolving. So more of the continuous time basically flows. So we're getting used to continuous time. The continuous time always existed, but it's only the delay that basically is dissolving. And so as the delay continues to dissolve, and as we integrate this, say, expanded vibration of continuous time, or say 0 point energy, or whatever you want to call it, our manifesting powers increase, mainly because the power of our intention, as we're stepping more into our, say, own self-mastery, becoming more aware of our own God creator abilities, we are basically, our intention grows, our intention and thought power intensifies. So as we say, okay, I want this to happen, or I send love to that portion of the world, or I want this energy to be dissolved out of my body, or this imbalance to be dissolved out of my body, and I hereby, you go through that process of clearing it. Your clearing abilities are increased. Not only that, our power of intention is increased. That's because basically we're embodying more of that continuous time level of consciousness that we are. You could say our multi-dimensional level of our own being is more embodied. And so as we are embodying more of our multi-dimensional self, so does our vibration. Our vibration increases that flows through our body. Therefore, whatever we do focus on, is that manifesting power is greatly increased. And what may be a little confusing, or say from what we were used to in the past for a lot of people, is that to know that nothing is separate from this manifesting power or this intention, our intention. Every single thought or emotion or say action that we have basically has power behind it. We don't really pick and choose. We can, with our focus, whatever we focus on is what's created or what we experience. And there's really, it's not something that you really turn off and on. It's our living experience is you can't turn off your own living physicality of your physical body. If you focus on something, a lot during the day, either drama, fear, worry, whatever else, you experience the vibration of those things through your physical body. You experience it within your life. As we integrate more of our God creator abilities, there is no judgment in basically those frequencies. So if we focus on it, that's what we're going to experience. And as for some people, this lesson or this getting used to, say, the new earth way of living and being might be a little challenging for some people that have not spent the time going their own inner work, doing their own inner discovery, learning their own patterns of how their own fears, and going through the clearing and realization of their different levels of their own self, and really loving themselves to a greater degree. So the main thing is, as we're integrating more of our multi-dimensional levels of ourself, our own God, creator, monad, say, being here in the physical, that's what we're only discovering our abilities that were already there. The veil is being dissolved. The time delay is just dissolving of that illusion of 3D reality. It's not that an illusion our physical bodies are illusion, or this physical world is an illusion. It's how we are experiencing it is the difference. So that's a little bit about our manifesting abilities. I made some notes here so I don't miss any of the points that I had put on my website. One of the things about going into 2014 that I had mentioned on my website about the waves of ascension, and there's a video on my YouTube channel, and I've mentioned some information regarding this on my website regarding the different waves of ascension. And what going into, say, 2014, and a lot of other people have talked about here recently, is the illumination of the greater collective, as say the greater collective awakening. And that's because there was a period of a certain portion of people awakening to a certain level of vibration and consciousness, and that basically that vibration and consciousness flows over to another level of the collective, and that level of collective essentially will create that wave that goes further into the future. So the wave in itself is just an illumination of, say, the truth. The truth is being revealed. As we wake up to more of our multidimensionality, understanding who we are and how we relate to the multidimensional earth, the multidimensional universe, and so on, we're just awakening to who we are. We're remembering our multidimensionality. And that in itself is just an illumination. It's the illumination of the truth within our own selves to have the greater, say, knowledge and comprehension of who we are and how everything else, basically how we relate to everything else. The truth in itself is light. It has vibration. And there's many, many levels to the truth, just as like our ego has a truth. It thinks it knows the truth, but it only has a certain level of truth. So with different levels of our being, we had different levels of comprehending the truth. And as we're integrating more of, say, of our I am presence view, and then from there our own multi-dimensional level of consciousness and view, our comprehension of the truth is expanded. We comprehend and we know how we are connected to all that is in different ways. So as we're going into 2014, just like with for those of you who have heard of the 100 monkey effect, when a certain portion of the collective comprehends and starts doing things in a certain new way, that same process of, say, living or doing something is then evolves over to a greater degree of the collective almost spontaneously. And then all of a sudden, just people will start becoming more aware of themselves, of how their thoughts, the greater creative power that our thoughts have and our focus has, and what we focus on basically is what we experience. So to all the light workers and or way showers or the transformation crew or violet transformation crew, or however we wish to view ourselves, for those of you who've been to offering, say, information regarding personal transformation, this coming of age or energy therapy, assisting people in doing past life regression, and so on, is don't give up. Continue to be open and sharing your resources of who you are and your gifts with others. It's everyone's, say, gifts and abilities are really needed as the greater collective begins to really awaken, because it's as that next wave begins to awaken, they're going to be going through a lot of the same things that the first wavers went through. A lot of the same what we have described as ascension symptoms. Learning how to release fear, become more self-aware of how and or what we're thinking, how we're holding on to toxic emotions, realizing how to release these things through energy therapy or self-reflection. So through meditation, energy therapy, and so on, or whatever your talent is, either that being aromatherapy or just being a vibrating beacon throughout your day as you go to work, and being an example of that divine balance of, say, bliss, love, without conditions as you go out through your days, just being that example. No matter, you don't have to be doing certain things, you do what your heart desires. Over the last couple of years, you could say the light workers or energy therapists and everybody else, it's not been easy because our what we have been offering, say, energy therapy sessions or workshops or classes and so on haven't really been supported by that many people in the percentage of the population, and therefore our work might not have been say supporting us to pay the bills or to pay our rent or to pay for our food or travel. And that's where we might have gotten discouraged and to withdraw and offering those gifts to the people we know, our family, friends, and out through our networks. That's what I'm talking about, is not giving up and continuing to offer those services, to offer the information of the expanded truth of, say, eternal oneness, is continue to open up. Allow the information to flow. Right now is really the time that the information that we've been sharing, some of us have been sharing for years, is really needed to open up the gates and let it flow. Because there's that many more people out there that are now just starting to comprehend some of the information that might have been flowing for the last 5 or 10 years. And they finally, when they see it, it starts to make more sense to them. And so continue to share the truth. Allow it to go. Allow it to flow. Allow your own divine gifts and essence to flow freely. So that's a little bit of the message that I want to share regarding the mass, say, collective awakening, or what you could say illumination. On my website, I just just put out a meditation that I said it's illumination meditation and affirmations. It's on my website, and it's free for whoever wishes to use it or share with others. All that I ask is just keep the information complete, and you share the link and so on if you wish to share it on your website. So that's a little bit about the collective illumination and awakening. Leveling up is the next thing. The thing about ascension is, as I described ascension and have described ascension in the past, is that it's just change. Ascension in itself is a change in vibration. It's a change in awareness. It's a change in perspective. And as we allow change to happen within ourselves, then we are basically allowing change and our perception to change in our view of life, and not only ourselves, but everyone else. And you could say, as we go through this process of awareness, there's a degree of leveling up, and it's leveling up in vibration, because we have a personal, say, light quotient of vibration, and we have a collective light quotient of vibration. That's what we had to have at a certain level in order for us to make it through that portal in December 2012. And as we're going through the changes in the future, going out through 2014 and beyond, learning how to elevate your own and monitor your own vibration. This is what's mean by leveling up. It's not that we are going somewhere up, because our perception of up is we're going somewhere different than we already are, say up above our head or something. But really, in a way, it has to do with a level of vibration. And as we're going through 2014, becoming more aware and mastering the levels of vibration that we basically vibrate at and or can control within our own levels of being. The more that we become more self-aware of how and what we are creating, the more that we are able to monitor and or, say, observe our own level of, say, light quotient. And And as been written in some books that other people have written regarding, some people call it the source field. And everything, including me here, and everything you're seeing, including the computer that you're viewing on, is a field of energy. Just like in the Matrix movie. Everything is a field. And as we, integrate more of our own multi-dimensional level of our own self, we master the fields. We become more of a master of the field. We start decoding the field of our multi-dimensional reality. We don't necessarily go up, like up above our heads, but it's a level of vibration. And that is one of the biggest things about leveling up that I'm talking about. It's not that we are better or there's other people that are worse. Again, everything has its place during this changing time. And that's what I relate to in that Ascension, the Waves of Ascension video. So, letting go of the fear, letting go of the self-doubt, becoming more of a multi-dimensional master means that we are basically mastering the levels within our own self. And therefore, through the same process of that, we are mastering the reality at the same time. Becoming one with the source field in itself, this field of reality, is just the process of us coming more one with our own self. And integrating more of our multi-dimensional self is letting go of the perception of duality also. Good, bad, right or wrong, higher or lower. Good, bad, all this other stuff, light, dark. Letting go of that, because it's usually only two polarities. It's right or wrong, or it's light or dark. But really we have another option available to us, and that's really like the third option, which is our multi-dimensional levels of sight, of one. And that in itself is, we see the perfection in the different levels of awareness within other people, within the world, within ourselves. We comprehend the different levels of the truth by integrating more of our own multi-dimensionality. That's a little bit hard for my tongue to basically say that. And so there is no right or wrong. There is no more good, bad, better, worse. Someone sitting on a podium and you're looking up to them, or you're looking down to someone else. Neutrality, neutral consciousness, 0-point consciousness, or however you wish to call that level of our own perception, is that divine balance. So, going into 2014, it's not only as we integrate more of our multidimensional levels of consciousness, it's then that the physical levels start to shift. First, there must be a conscious shift in order for the physical to shift. That's what a lot of 2013 has been about. Integrating the different levels of consciousness shift. Through 2014, we'll start experiencing more of a physical shift of how that's relating out into the collective and the physical world in itself, as all within on Earth levels up into another level of vibration. And as always, we have a choice how we go through these shifts. That's through us individually and also us collectively. So the more of us that allow change to happen within ourselves and allow our hearts to continue to expand, love ourselves and love this existence, the easier it will be for not only our own selves, but every single person around us, the earth, and the collective. Be the change that you wish to see and experience. So those are the main points that I wanted to share regarding the 2014 New Earth Review. Yeah, for more resources, videos, and so on, you can view my website, thedivinebalance.com. Blessings to you all, your families, and the earth, and the collective in the coming year 2014. May we all just start walking and breathing as one. Namaste. See you all next time.